Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to discuss a significant research topic, that is research process. Research helps us to study any topic in systematic way. Now I will explain the steps of research process. The basic questions, that is, what is the research process? The research process is the set of steps we follow to study something. These steps helps us collect information, analyze it, and find answer. Researchers follow a sequence of steps, but sometimes they might change the order depending on the study. Research process means doing study steps by steps in an organized way. The order can change based on the research process. Now we saw the flow chart of research process. First one is defining the research problem. Second one, objectives or research questions. Third one, review of literature. The fourth one is formulations of hypothesis, and then research design, collections of data source, tools, and methods. Analyze of data. Last one, report writing. This is the main stage of a research study. Each steps connected the next steps. Define the research problem. Selecting and clearly define the research problem is the first essential steps in research. It is crucial to identify research general area of an interest or a specific aspect to study. The problem may be broadly and be narrowed down into operational terms for further investigations. A clear problem gives direction to the research. The first wish choose a broad topic, then make it specific. Two step of formulating a research problem. First one, understanding the problem truly. The second one, rephrasing it into meaningful terms for an operational analytical point of view. First, we understand the issue clearly, then we write it in a way can be analyzed with data. Selecting research topic and define the research problem. Chose a familiar subject, select topic with easy access to research material and data source. Key point to clearly state in research problem, rationale behind the research problem. Why the research is important, aims and objective. Determine what the data needs to be collected, hypothesis to be tested, technique for the data collections. Analyze methods and relations to be explored. Research question. Develop questions based on the objectives and theoretical foundations. Rationale behind the research problem. Engage dialogue to refine and clarify the concept. Rephrase the research problem. Turn identified problem into a clear working proportions. Shows a familiar makes research easier. Objectives questions helps keeps the research focus. Step to define the research problem. Initial statement of the problem. Beginning and starting the problem is a general way, later refining its true through the literature review. Understand nature of the problem, that is gain a deeper understanding of a problem. Third one is survey available literature. Conduct through review of a relevant literature in inform and shape the problem. Literature review helps improve and clarify the problem statement. Additional point to observe while define the research problem. First one, define technical terms clearly. That means ensure all technical terms phrase use explicitly defined. Second one, state-based assumptions. Clearly state any assumption or postulate related to the research. Third one, provide an unambiguous statement. Ensure the investigation statement is clear and free ambiguity. Fourth one, specify time period and scope. Clearly mention the time frame required and scope of the study. Fifth one is mention the source and limitations. This means that explicitly identify the source of data and their limitations. Clarity and transparency are very important in research. Next step is review of literature. Purpose of literature review to gain insight into the topic and understand the availability of data materials related to the proposed research area. Proposed research area. Types of literature review. Concepts. First one is conceptual and theoretical literature related to the concept that theory in the field. Empirical literature finding from study that present the quantitative data result in the research area. Role in framing research questions helps in developing the research questions, investigations, source of limitations. Academic journals, conference, proceeding, government report books, it's assigning literature via IT. With right steps, spread of IT, a large volume of literature is now easily accessible through the internet. Literature review build the foundation of the research. Next point is formulations of hypothesis. A working hypothesis is an tentative statement made to the tested for logical and empirical confirmations. A hypothesis can be formulated as in proportions or set of proportions offering the most probable explanations for a event or phenomenon. Hypotheses are tested empirically and can either be accepted or rejected, must be testable. Start in terms of relationship between depending and independent variable suitable for econometrics treatment. Provide focus for research. Helps identify method of analysis to be used. Derive from period thinking data explanations discussed colleges and experts. Explanatory or descriptive research can be carried out without hypothesis. Hypothesis predict possible relationship between variables. The next one, research design. Definition of research design. Research design is the logical conceptual structure with which research is conducted. Purpose is serves a blueprint for collections, measurement, and analysis of data. Research design works like a plan for study. Next one, data collections. Type of data. The first one, primary data. Primary data collected by the researcher through method like survey or experiment. Secondary data, data previously collected the other agencies or available in published from. Technique of data collections. Census, the first one is census survey. Data, first one is census survey. Census survey data is gathered from every individuals in a populations. Observations method, direct observation or subject phenomenon. Additional primary data collected method. Experiment example yield under certain conditions observations over the time intensive fieldwork inclusive observations interviews case studies is data can be collected in different way depending on the study. The next step is analysis of data. Steps involved in data analysis, categorizations. First one is categorization. Based on the research problem or hypothesis, data is clarified. Categorized must be exclusive and indistinct and mutually exclusive. Second is the coding, grouping response under the appropriate categories. Third one is tabulations. Organizing data is rows and columns to facilitate the comparison, helps to identify inherent relationship between variables. Role of statistical and econometrics techniques. Analyze and inference are often avoided by the applications of various statistical and economic methods. Data must be organized before drawing conclusions. Next one is report writing, a vital component of research. Originally and clearly are essential. Originality and clearly is essential in research. Reflecting one's analytical ability and communications skill, organize, identify for an easy understanding. A good report should be clear or logical. Structure of report. Preliminary page means that the title, researcher name, instruction, report, presentation data, reference, context, key finding, and acknowledgement. Main text, introduction, objective. Introduction part included the objective, rationale, literature review summary, hypothesis, definitions, methodology, included the detailed explanation of the methodology and study limitations. Subsequent chapter organized logically with clear concept between sections. Limitations, inference draw the inference drawn from the structure makes report easy to the flow. Now we draw the conclusions. Link to study objectives or hypothesis. Executive summary. Concise outline of a context, methodology, and major finding. Place at the beginning of the report. The conclusion summaries of the study clearly. Thank you everyone for watching my videos.